There you go. You got your own clipboard. I was going to give it to you since I did a mistaken identity on you twice.
Okay.
So I'll give this to Reverend Mike. My name is Bashir Mundi. Is this thing on?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm with the Muslim Community Center here, the MCC, as well as with the Institute of Islamic Information and Education, which is just adjacent to this building. And I'll be doing a short presentation for you, and it is going to be based on the paper that you have in front of you. I am hoping that I will keep it short as possible. That's sometimes difficult to do. And that you will be able to ask questions. And I'm more interested in you asking questions to get to know the things that you really want to know instead of coming to hear me blab all day. And then if we have enough time, we would love to take you back down to the mosque downstairs and talk a little bit about the mosque and the space and how we use it and so on. And then have you ask anything that you would love to ask after that. After the program, we have a few brochures here that you are most welcome to help yourself to. And we have some beverage, I believe. Is everybody okay with that format? Okay. What I'm going to be talking to you about is briefly what Islam is all about. And if you look at your paper that you have with you, it's sectioned into two major groups. And it is titled Purification, or Islam as a way of purifying yourself to attain salvation. Well, let me begin by saying that in Islam, just like you probably heard during the sermon that we just witnessed, where the speaker, the Imam, was saying that we don't have a concept of original sin in Islam. So to begin with, Islam teaches us, the Quran as well as the traditions of the Prophet Muhammad, teach us that you are born in a state of salvation. You're not born in a state of condemnation from which to climb out of. Islam says that you are born, everyone is born in a state of innocence. The word that it uses is fitrah. Fitrah means a state of innocence, a state of faultlessness, and a state of freedom. You are free. You are spiritually free. And so the challenge for the Muslim is to maintain that state of innocence as well as to enhance that state of innocence in their daily life and ultimately in their entire life. Islam comes from a root word, salama or salima, which means submission. So Islam is a submission to the will of God. The word also is the root word from which the term Assalamu alaikum, peace be with you, is derived from. Assalamu alaikum, this is the way that we greet in Islam. Peace be with you. So the word is also from a root word from which the word meaning peace comes. So Islam can be defined as a way of attaining peace through the submission to the will of God. And we believe that this is what everything in creation actually does. Everything in creation is in a state of submission to the will of God. It is in a state of harmony. It is in a state of equilibrium. It is in a state of balance. If you look at the cosmos, you will see a state of equilibrium and of balance and of peace and of harmony. And you will see that the reason why there is that balance and equilibrium and peace and harmony is that everything in creation is in a state of submission to the laws of God that govern how they move. The galaxies and the stars and the planets and galactic and intergalactic particles and so on. So this is a brief definition of what Islam is. Now, in Islam, we have certain fundamental beliefs. Those things that every Muslim must believe in order to be called Muslim. Those things which every Muslim must not only believe in, but also must disbelieve in the contrary of that in order to be Muslim. The first and most important is the belief in God. We believe in one God, and one and only one God. We believe that He is the creator of everything that exists. We believe that, and the Quran teaches, that He is before everything and He is the last. It does call Him the first and the last. Those of you who are, well, I believe most of you, not all of you are Christians, you're aware of the terminologies, Alpha and Omega. We believe that He is all-powerful, He is omnipotent, He is all-knowing, He is omniscient, He is eternal, He is everlasting. We don't have images of God. We don't have pictures of God. We don't make icons of God. The Prophet teaches us that you cannot imagine God with your imagination. Anything that you imagine as God, a mental picture, it is not Him, He is beyond that. So we know Him through His attributes, such as being most merciful, most gracious. Every chapter of the Quran except for one begins with the terms, the phrase, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. The name Allah is only the Arabic word for God. Some people feel that it is an ancient Arab idol called Allah, but this is absolutely false. In fact, if you study the history of the Arabs, you will discover that they did actually believe in a supreme God who they could not see, who they called Allah. But they felt that to become near to God, they needed to make idols that they would worship as intermediaries. So they did believe in a supreme God. So, and it's the same way, Arab Christians use the term Allah for God also. We believe that He does not incarnate or reincarnate into anything. He is not His creation. He is not bound by His creation. He is infinite. His knowledge, His power is infinite. But He does not do ungodly things, such as to die. It is against His nature to die. So we believe that not only there are things that God is, there are things that God is not. His attributes are mutually exclusive. Because He's all-knowing, it excludes a possibility of Him being ignorant about anything or not existing at any particular time. Because of His being all-powerful, it excludes a possibility of Him being subjected to the power of any other thing, be it His creature and so on. And it also excludes the possibility of any other gods. It's impossible to have an all-powerful God if you're going to have more than one God. So His attributes are mutually exclusive. We also believe that He never left man without guidance, that He sent to us prophets and messengers to give us our job description. The Quran describes it that when God was creating man, before He created us, God said to the angels, I am going to place a vicegerent, a deputy. The Arabic term is Khalifa. I'm going to place an ambassador on earth. And the angel said, why are you going to place a species that's going to cause bloodshed and confusion and rebellion on the earth while we praise You and glorify You day and night?